YouTube time. I wanted to watch this one first. The newest hype beast. The new hype beast. Why grown adults are obsessed with toys. Shout out to my guy Chance, bro. He's been going crazy on the vids.
So a lot of people glamorize the hypebeast era. Supreme box logos, off-white Jordans, Bape camo hoodies, Kanye West, Travis Scott, Justin Bieber. This was all definitely an era that everybody remembers. But recently, the only thing that people have been able to talk about is how the hypebeast era is dead.
It's
but
dead.
What I told you, the hypebeast era is not dead, and that it's just evolving. You see, what used to be about exclusivity, gatekeeping, and standing
Damn,
out
they're hitting the
has
dab
quietly
is
transformed
crazy.
into something else entirely. Today's hype culture is not about standing out. It's actually the quite opposite. It's about fitting in, feeling seen, and
True.
also belonging to something bigger than yourself. And with a
True,
few
it's gotten so big that like it really does feel like you're fitting in now.
things like viral obsession and being a part of a niche, this is how hype culture has completely transformed and taken over
What the fuck are those? Labubu's? Shut the hell up.
the general
You know what
public.
Labubu's are. Stop the cap.
Yo, you know you're
It's crazy how it's changed in such a short period of time.
We're back,
No,
guys.
for real.
Another video. I told you guys every Wednesday, every Sunday, your boy is back, and I think this is a super
Mark,
interesting.
you've heard me talk about the Labubus before, bro. They're like taking over the world right now. They're in every single resale store. People are reselling them. They're wearing them as like little keychains. They're like these little like Japanese or Asian looking like dolls. They look like Where the Wild Thing are toys, like some Happy Meal shit, and they cost like $65 for just a normal one. And people are getting like mystery boxes of them, bro. Just listen to Chance, bro. Just listen to Chance.
Video, so I hope you guys enjoy. This took a lot of research and a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. We are so close to 500,000 subscribers, and I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna have that million plaque right there. I love you guys, and buckle up. Let's get into this.
Let's go.
So, old school hype culture was so much
Supreme.
different than it is now. And when I say
Bape.
old school, I talk
V-Lone.
about the 2010s. But basically, around the 2014 to 2018 era, hypebeast culture was in its full force. And the main part of hypebeast culture was about showing off that your outfit was expensive, or just pretty much showing that you had money. It was about wearing Supreme and Bape and like Louis Vuitton, Gucci. It went through so many different variations, but it all was centered around the same thing: showing off your wealth. But it also was about having something that other
Flexing.
people didn't have or couldn't have. Like, for example, these Yeezy shoes that went for $1,000, the Adidas Yeezys. People
Yeah,
would
the
line
350's going. I remember when they first were doing numbers like that. It was insane. And I saw it and I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, bro, this is so stupid. Why are people spending thousands of dollars on Yeezy 350s?
up for literally days to get their hands on some of these Supreme items and Yeezy drops and stuff like that, because it all centered around exclusivity. Once they sold out, they never restocked again. But also during the hypebeast era, it was about being first to the trend. If everybody else had it, you didn't want it. Like, you didn't want to fit in with everybody else. You wanted to be new on the trend, and you wanted to be first, and by the time everybody else was wearing it, it wasn't cool anymore. You're already on to the next thing. That is the hypebeast era in a nutshell. Status was defined by how much it cost, and also scarcity. And basically, gatekeeping was the currency. And everybody knows the story. Like, when the Yeezys came out in like 2015 or 16,
Impossible
everybody
to
went
get,
crazy.
bro.
I mean, the Supreme Louis Vuitton collection, it was very exclusive. It was very expensive. Only the top of the top, the elite people had that. It was about, you know, showing off. And obviously with this whole scarcity, like when things sell out, they never restock. Same
Do I
thing with
still
the
wear
Yeezys,
Fear God?
Supreme, off.
Yeah, every now and then. I got a Fear God hoodie. I got Fear God hoodies that I wear. Some Fear God sweatpants. This shit's comfortable, bro. I'm just not buying Fear God like that no more. Like, I really never got caught up. I never got caught up in the Supreme wave. I think to this day, I don't have any Supreme stuff. I never had Supreme stuff. I've had V-Lone. I got Off-White. But this era was crazy. I got caught in the Supreme wave. Yeah, Marcus Supreme slut. Yeah, I already knew. I already was been knowing that for sure. But yeah, other than that though, Supreme literally had niggas in a chokehold, bro. Like, it still does. People still go crazy over Supreme, but like back then, crazy work. What's that mean though? Like, bro, why you say that? Say it like that?
White,
What?
babe,
Of course,
just about anything. centered
because
around
Mark, you heard what he said. People were trying to show status, show how much money they had. You got a lot of money, right?
This culture was,
Show
it never
off the Flex the
restocked. You
Supreme.
couldn't just walk into the Supreme store on a random day and buy a Supreme t-shirt and leave. Hype culture was defined by it selling out and not being able to be like available to the general public. And this also created resellers around the world. But what if I told you today hype culture is completely the exact opposite? People want what everybody else has. The new hype culture is about belonging to a niche or a community. In 2025, we're in the age of belonging. I feel like the general public today is no longer chasing hype and chasing like standing out. And the main factor in this is the fear of missing out, or FOMO. And virality matters more than originality. And the sole factor of this, in my opinion, is TikTok. Back in 2020,
TikTok
things happened.
beat at it.
Everybody was forced to stay inside.
Yep.
This is when TikTok really took off. This is when the shift started from standing out being the cool thing to now fitting in was the cool thing. And this changed the blueprint for hype culture forever. I remember back in the day trying to explain stuff to like my parents or something, for example, like when I was talking about like, oh, like a Supreme t-shirt, it's $200.
Yeah, it's honestly seemed like gibberish to the common person. Now grannies are wearing Panda Dunks. You got grandmas wearing Panda Dunks.
It drops for $40, but then after it sells out, it resells for $200. And it was always like a running joke that like Supreme could just slap their logo on anything and it would sell out.
That's not even a joke.
To the older generation, it just never made sense. It was like being a part of something that nobody really knew about. It was like this subculture, like the hype beast culture, like you were in the know and other people weren't. And then by the time everybody else was, you were already on to the next thing. But this new hype culture hit millennials so hard. And the first example I have for you guys is the Stanley Cup. Just last year, Stanley Cups became the craziest thing in the world. People were lining up overnight, causing riots and fist fights, and literally trampling over each other at a chance.
Humans are so stupid, bro. I got no luck. I have no faith in human society, like in the human population.
Buy a water bottle. But the truth is, Stanley has been around since 1913. Like, why in the past year all of a sudden people are going crazy about him when 2-3 years ago, nope, like they sat there. Like, what's the deal now? And that, my friends, is the definition of hype. As a functionality, anything can do the trick. But why did it become such a big thing? It was a symbol of identity. And how this all started in 2020, Stanley announced a new global president named Terrence Riley. And Terrence Riley was formerly with Crocs before he was with Stanley.
Put it in reverse, Terrence!
What Terrence did when he got into this new Stanley office, he decided to ditch all the traditional marketing routes. He allocated a huge budget that was originally set for commercials, influencer marketing, all that kind of stuff. He said, screw all that, we're doing a TikTok team. And the reason that Stanley became such a huge company is this one viral moment that sent it over the edge. And it was something that was completely staged by Terrence Riley himself. There was a TikTok that went viral about a car burning down, but inside a Stanley Cup that survived and actually still had ice in it. And Terrence Riley, the new global president, he gets on the Stanley page and he's like, wow, we're gonna gift you a new car and brand new Stanleys or something like that. I don't know. With the power of TikTok, Stanley literally went viral worldwide overnight. But later, people started doing tests and the Stanley literally melted in seconds. This all proved to be a huge marketing scheme that nobody knew, but there's literally videos of people throwing like a Stanley Cup into a fire and it just melts. Like it very obviously is fake. And I know the Stanley is completely metal, but the straw.
Am I getting on the game today? What game?
Is plastic. So you're telling me the entire car is burned down, like the seats, the steering wheel, everything.
Stanley's good though.
Plastic is all burned down except for the plastic straw on the Stanley. Like, come on. It's obviously fake, but people believed it. Like, this is the power of TikTok.
Get on BO6, you can drop 50.
Let me share with you a few more examples of modern day hype culture.
I might play Black Ops 6
They're these plushy, quirky, little niche, I don't know, like stuffed animal things. Apparently these are sold by a Chinese company named Pop Mart. They've been around for a few years and nobody really cared.
Little Boo Boos.
There was this girl.
This is the Little Boo Boos.
And Lisa was a part of this K-pop group named Blackpink. And Lisa was spotted with one of these little Labubu's hanging from her purse, and it was over from there. This exploded all over China and Japan, and then eventually reached the United States. And this was solely due to TikTok virality. And so to my knowledge, they are sold in a little mystery box. So whatever you buy, you're not guaranteed the one you want. Some of them sell for $5, and some of these are not worth anything, while others are worth thousands of dollars on the resale market. Yes, people are reselling Labubus. In the same
Mark, I guarantee this would be a great time for you to get a Labubu, bro.
Same way that they
Get
were
a
reselling
Labubu.
Stanley Cups on the internet. And people will camp out for literally days for a chance to buy a $10 little Labubu that has a mystery character in there. And these Labubu drops are literally insane. Like, these are bigger than any Supreme drop I've ever seen. Like, I've seen a few clips from these California malls where they're doing these Labubu drops, and people will get there the entire day before and spend the night sleeping on the ground. And then on the morning of the drop, there's over 3,000 people there, and most of these drops end up getting shut down because of the mayhem that ensues before they even open the doors. People want
going
what
crazy.
they can't have, and mix that with everybody on TikTok unboxing and showing off their little Labubu collections. This only makes people want it more. It is that fear of missing out. People want to feel included and feel like they're a part of like a community. They want to feel like they're a part of this niche on TikTok. And this gives them validation. In the same way that Hypebeast wearing an expensive outfit gave them validation. But back in the day, it was Instagram. Hypebeast culture was all about putting together the outfit and taking the outfit picture. A lot of this revolved around Instagram. And then in 2020, it shifted from Instagram to TikTok. And this is literally the power of TikTok. The next one that I have on here is the Trader Joe's tote bags.
I don't
People
get that,
are
bro.
reselling and flipping
What?
Trader Joe's tote bags. Why? Because it's a part of the aesthetic. It's about a TikTok trend, which started out with regular ones that were just like red and blue, I think. And then when the pastel ones dropped, when that pastel colorway hit, it was over. Some of these started smacking $100 on the resale market, and people
Oh my
began to
gosh.
literally riot and fight over a chance to buy a Trader Joe's tote bag. They had to put a limit on them. And I know this sounds crazy, but if you were a part of the Hypebeast culture, you would understand that it's not that crazy. And there's plenty more examples of this, like the Costco Pokemon card set. For those of you who don't know, this
Pokemon
literally
cards are
started
going
a
crazy
war,
right now.
like a full-out riot. Like, cops were called to Costco every time that they had these Pokemon card releases. There's literally like fist fights over Pokemon card releases at Costco. And there's plenty more examples like PS5s. People were reselling PS5s at one point, literally on StockX.
I remember the PS5 Christmas days were fucking golden, bro. People were making stupid money off of PS5s for a long time. The PS5 shit lasted pretty long.
Paying $1,000 for a PS5. There was Squishmallows a few years ago. These little plushies that you could, like, people would resell those. But the thing
didn't
is that
see
I'm trying to
those.
say is that being in the know has replaced
So
that
my first
price
one for
tag.
$8.50,
The
yeah.
flex used to be money and expensive and like showing off. Now the flex is about timing. Like it's about like having something before it blew up or having it during its like peak height. And what's crazy to me that with this whole Labubu thing, people like Cool Kicks began selling this. For those of you who don't know, Cool Kicks is one of the largest sneaker stores with the biggest presence on social media, but Cool Kicks is literally selling Labubus now. Like, by the truckload, they are buying and selling these at the store because Labubus have become more popular than Off-White and Jordan sneakers. Yes, Hypebeast sneaker resale stores are now selling Labubus, and
That's a crazy thought, bro. Like, they're Cool Kicks. They stop focusing on sneakers. They stop focusing on streetwear, and they're focusing on Labubus. It's a crazy world, bro. A sneaker store selling Labubus. And honestly, they pushed it heavy. I think, honestly, Cool Kicks might have been the first time I heard about the Labubus.
Cups and these Pokemon card sets also at these Hypebeast stores as well. Like, this is the new generation of the Hypebeast. But basically, I wanted to answer the question of, is the Hypebeast era dead? And the answer to this is no. The Hypebeast era is
just
not dead. It
transitions,
just
bro.
evolved. It just changed uniforms a little bit. It
Sneakers,
went
people
from
don't give a
streetwear to
fuck about
Stanley.
sneakers
It went
that
from
much.
exclusivity to inclusivity. And my question to you guys is, are you chasing a product or are you chasing a connection? And are you a part of this whole new TikTok wave of like this Hypebeast era? I know there's plenty of resellers out there that are eating off this, that are making so much
Cool
money.
Kicks
They're paying
send
their bills. They
Bose
don't care about
headphones.
the Labubus. They
and
don't
ring
care about the
floodlights
tote
on
bags from
whatnot.
Trader
What do you mean?
Joe's. But I know a lot of people are flipping this stuff just to make a quick buck
They sell
and
Bose?
capitalizing off this trend, just like during the Hypebeast era. But I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. Is this the new version of the Hypebeast era that we're currently in?
Absolutely.
And that leads us to the end of today's video. I hope
This is the new era. It is not sneakers. It is not clothing. It is all about this whole thing, which Chance was talking about, of people feeling like they're in a niche. They're feeling like they're in a community and getting something, and they're probably reselling it. It's all about making money. At the end of the day, people build up something and have so much hype around it that they build it up, build it up, build it up. The hype becomes real. Like, it might have been fake hype, but then the hype actually becomes real. And then there's a market now because of all the hype, because people want to FOMO in And after that, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be cards, it can be collectibles, it can be whatever. There's always going to be something where people can make money. And if people can make money on it, they're going to be interested in it. And they're going to fight over it too, if the money's right enough. But I mean, damn, they're fighting over Trader Joe's bags? I mean, shit. It ruined everything. Listen, it's honestly, it's been going on forever. It's just the commodities have changed, you know? And some of the commodities hold and retain value forever, like gold. You know, people used to, I'm sure people were fighting over gold, like the gold rush. Who could get to the gold the fastest? Who could mine the most gold? Because you could sell it for money. You could make money off of it. It's always been about monetary gain with these things. Because you have like the normal community, right? You have the people that want it to keep and collect. So that's like the first layer. Then you have the second layer of the resellers, the people who want to take advantage of the variance in dollars. And then you have people who are just FOMO, who just want to get it just to say that they got it. And that's really all you need, those 3 layers.
Guys enjoy. I know this one might have been a little bit all over the place, but I hope it made sense. I've been wanting to make this video for a while after being a participant in the like real life Hypebeast era. If you guys look, I still have an entire sneaker wall behind me of a whole bunch of Hypebeast hype shoes, all that kind of stuff. As an active participant, I do sometimes miss the Hypebeast era, you know, that 2016 time. But anyways, I love you guys so much. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm on that road to 1 million subscribers. We're halfway there, baby.